few months ago, I started reading this book called Marketing Theory, Evidence, and Practice by Mr. None other than Byron Sharp. It is a 800-page behemoth, but there's a chapter on physical availability. It's something that we don't often talk about as marketers. The chapter touches on this idea that they've been observing over decades around the 9 empirical laws of shopping. Having worked in CPG and in doing a lot of advertising and trade marketing and even sales and merchandising in the retail environment, this is something that it was always just ingrained in me because obviously PepsiCo has had all of these lessons built into their processes. I want to mention a few of them, and then I'm going to put a link in the comments for the full article where I touch on all the 9 laws. The first one is that the time people spend in store is constrained. We all have this internal clock that whenever we go into a store, let's say, and we don't notice this, it's totally subconscious. Let's say we have 3 minutes in our minds to go, find what we're looking for. If we find what we're looking for in the first minute, tend to use the remainder of that internal timer shopping around. And obviously this has major implications, right? If you think about, building basket. So you want to make sure that the stuff that people really are looking for is really easy to find so that they can use the remainder of the time, maybe making an additional purchase, like an impulse purchase. So the other, law of shopping that really caught my eye too is that, 15% of all trips are to purchase a single item. So obviously this plays a major role in convenience, but also if you're thinking about just grocery stores, and I think grocery stores have been trying to become more convenient by, implementing self-checkout technology. But if you're a convenience store and 15% of all purchases are for a single item, driving people from pump to store or from sidewalk to store is already a challenge. Making sure that the purchase is frictionless and convenient would obviously enhance the experience of those single item purchases and encourage more people to come into store. And the other one, and is obviously was listening recently to Fernando Machado's talk at Cannes, and he talks about one of the sins of marketing called he very cleverly called gluttony, where you start expanding beyond the core too much, your core products, and stretching the core to the point where it starts shrinking. The flip side of that on the laws of shopping is that most of your sales come from your top selling SKUs, right? And so you got to make sure that those are super easy to find and you're not compromising the space of the top sellers at the to expand the brand into too many other variations. Whenever somebody enters into a grocery store, there's over 40,000 options, but they come in and out of there in 20 minutes with enough ingredients to prepare a meal. And obviously this is a consequence of people buying the same kind of things over and over again. Check out the article. There's 6 other laws that I talked about in there with graphs and everything. Highly encourage you checking it out. And let me know what you think in the comments below.